got it.
All right, Tim?
Ready. I got you.
All right, bet. So hit me up tomorrow.
Thank you,
and we're
sir.
gonna all right, my guy. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So for everyone that was on that had your mics off mute, please mute your mic. We're gonna go into tonight's lesson. So let's give a shout out to everybody that's joining us that's on the general admission side. General admission, welcome. I know you've been in the background listening. What's going on? Today is day one. We are about to get into it right now. So I'm checking the itinerary. Boom. For tonight, we have a few things on schedule. So for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as I switch the cameras over, we're going to dive into late payment. So what I'm going to actually do is, Yannick, your question, I'm going to use your question to kick tonight off. So, late payments, ladies and gentlemen, late payments. A lot of people got late payments, and there's no shame in having missed the payment. Life will life, and life keeps happening regardless. Now, it's not that we don't, oh, let me check. Shante, how's my audio?
You're perfect. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so it's not that you don't have a late payment or you have a late payment. The question becomes, are they compliant in their reporting? Right? Remember, it's not that you didn't have a late payment. Are they compliant, right? There's a few things that can happen. There's a few things that can happen. And whenever we talk about late payments, ladies and gentlemen, you want to visit 15 USC 1666B. Because 1666B has the information as to what can make a payment late. Nothing in here, I wouldn't say nothing. The information contained here is what makes a creditor treat a payment as late. A creditor can only treat a payment as late if they are compliant. So they must be compliant. They must be compliant with this section of the law. So what is this section of the law? Let's get into it. So it says a creditor may not treat a payment on a credit card account under an open-end consumer credit plan as late for any purpose unless. So for those of you that are saying, well, Daraine, it's my car and my car is not a credit card account. Are you sure? Are you sure it's not a credit card account? Are you sure? Well, you might be saying, well, damn, now that you're asking me, I don't know, and I don't know if I'm sure. So in order to comprehend this, we need to go take a visit over truth in lending. So 15 USC 1605. So when you go over 1602, not 1605, 1602. Definitions, right? So, oh, by the way, for those of you that love to use the word bureau, credit bureau, guys, there is only one bureau. The term bureau means the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection. It is not TransUnion. It is not Equifax. It is not Experian, okay? Like, they are not bureaus. The only bureau listed, word bureau, as you can see, is the Consumer Financial Protection, okay? So please, let's not use that word credit bureau anymore because there is no credit bureau. Credit bureaus does not exist, right? So let's go down to the word credit card, right? Well, let's read open end credit plan too because it did mention open end credit plan, right? So right, open end consumer credit plan. So it's important that you always seek definition. So open-end credit plan and open-end consumer credit plan mean a plan under which the creditor reasonably contemplates repeated transactions, which prescribes the terms of such transactions, and which provides for a finance charge which may be computed from the time on the outstanding unpaid balance. A credit plan or open-end consumer credit plan, which is an open-end credit plan or open-end consumer credit plan within the meaning of the preceding sentence, is an open-end credit plan or an open-end consumer credit plan, even if credit information is verified from time to time. So that big word of open-end credit plan, it just means that there's a line of credit that is open. You're making payments, there are repeated transactions, and it may involve a finance charge, which we talk about your car, a mortgage, credit card, personal loan. Some of these have finance charge involved, but having a finance charge isn't the only thing. It's an open line of credit where multiple transactions are happening. It could be an installment loan or a revolving line of credit, right? But the word that I want you guys to look at is this word, credit card. See, the term credit card means any card. Look at this word right here. Any card. Where do we go? Any card, there we go. Any card, plate, coupon book, or other what? Credit device existing for the purpose of obtaining money, property, labor, or services. When we start thinking about what this definition says, your ID is a credit card. Isn't your ID a card? And that card is used as a device for the extension of obtaining money. Don't they ask you for your ID and you're supposed to give them your ID number? Okay. What else do they ask for? Don't they ask for your social security number? And you're supposed to provide those numbers because if you don't give this social security card, you're not going to extend a line of credit to you. Don't they also ask for your EIN? So these are credit device, your ID, your social security number, your EIN. These are devices that are used. And let me see in the chat because I need to make sure that you guys are following. These are devices, ladies and gentlemen. These are devices. Think about it. When have you ever applied for a line of credit and they did not ask you for your ID or your ID number, your social security card or your social security number, or your EIN document or your EIN number? Right? So when we're talking about a credit card, this is, you guys are thinking that a credit card is your Wells Fargo credit card. You're thinking that it's your Capital One Venture card. You're thinking that it's your Navy Federal credit card. You're thinking that it's your American Express Gold, Platinum. Those aren't really credit card. What those are accepted credit cards. So let's go back to definitions again. Card holder, card issuer. Where is it? There's a word. It's called accepted credit cards. Where is it? Credit card means that. No, adequate notice. Credit card issuer. There's a word. I can't find it right now. But it's called accepted credit card. And your Wells Fargo, your Chase, your Bank of America, those fall under accepted credit cards because it is an accepted version of a credit card that is used. And I just can't see it right now, and I don't have the time to go and find it. All right, so let's go back over to late payment, right? So now that we know what an open-end consumer credit plan is, right? Because it can be what? An installment, or it can be a revolving account. A creditor cannot treat this payment as late for any reason because we know the correct definition of what a credit card is. And we know that our ID and social security number are also forms of credit card. We know this. So anything that has to do with your ID or your social security number is a credit card account, and it is under an open-end consumer credit plan, which might be a credit card. It might be an auto loan. It might be a mortgage, right? This is what it's talking about. So they can't treat any payment a student loan. They can't treat any of this payment late unless they have adopted reasonable procedures designed to ensure that each periodic statement, including, so the first thing you need to write down is periodic statement. That's the first thing that caught my attention. Periodic statement. So the periodic statement, including information required by Section 1637B, and this must be mailed or delivered. This must be mailed or delivered to the consumer not later than 21 days before the payment due date. Right? So the only way a creditor can treat a payment as late, it must be what? It must be compliant. It must be compliant with Section 1666B. It must be compliant. It must be compliant. There is no other way. It must be compliant. If it's not compliant to the section, the payment cannot be treated as late. Is everyone following? Let me see in the chat. Is everybody following? Without being compliant with 16